Welcome back to Living Local. Joining us today, we have a very special guest. We have Haley. She's the owner of Hermosa Jewelry. Haley, we've known each other for years. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for having me on here.
All right, so today we're talking about, I've been really passionate about talking to various, small business owners, you being one of them. But before we get into that, let's just talk about your business. Tell us about Hermosa Jewelry.
All right, so I started Hermosa Jewelry when I was 16 years old, when I was at Wando High School. So I've been doing this for about 16 years, and I now have a retail shop. I'm in Mount Pleasant, and I opened in September of 2017. So I've had it for a couple of years, and I sell my jewelry and I sell other local gifts here.
Yeah. And when she says you've been doing this for a long time, I literally remember you doing stuff like this. I mean, it had to be longer than 16 years ago,
yeah,
right?
I really have been making jewelry for 22 years. I started when I was 10 years old when I was at middle school, but my official business started when I was 16. So.
Well, I'm very impressed with everything you're doing. Kind of tell us about your style when it comes to, I always see you kind of like evolving, reinventing yourself when it comes to your brand. Tell us what kind of things we can see if we come to the store.
So I do a lot of handmade beaded jewelry. I use semi-precious gemstones, freshwater pearls, Swarovski crystals, shells, found objects, vintage components. So I have a pretty wide style, but I will.
Do you customize stuff?
Say it again.
Do you customize things? Like if I had
I do a lot of custom work. So someone could bring in maybe a old brooch that they might want to turn into a necklace and things like that. So that is really fun, and that kind of like takes me back to kind of how I got started. I had inherited a huge box of vintage jewelry, and I just started taking it apart and mixing it together with new beads and other things, and that's kind of how it all got started.
The rest is history, right?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about how important it is right now for people to support small businesses like you. I'm sure you had a pretty significant impact with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, I'm always preaching about shopping local and supporting small business because I have been so passionate about it forever because I've kind of always done that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now more than ever that you can see a face behind these businesses and families behind these businesses. And when everyone was shut down, you could directly see how each and every business owner was impacted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it probably opened a lot of people's eyes to seeing how something like this could affect our economy and our local towns and cities. And so I think now more than ever, it's really important to get out there and shop local.
Well, and I just think you're doing such a great job. I just felt so bad when I was following you on Instagram. I know personally that it definitely had an impact on you. You're always doing something fun, I find. So I think, what do you think you've learned from all of this, though?
I've learned how important my website is
Mm-hmm.
and how important just that it's like the digital face. And I mean, once we had to shut down, I was like, oh, I don't have a shop anymore. I have a virtual shop.
Mm-hmm. That's a hard lesson to learn, I bet.
Yeah, and I'm always running around, spread very thin, doing a lot of different running all the different aspects of my business.
Mm-hmm.
So the website would typically kind of get, I'll do that later. And now I am so on it with the website. Because even people shopping local that don't want to come into the shop, they can do curbside pickup, but still shop online and not have any sort of contact. So that's
a great point, though. Is that one of the things also that you're stressing to customers that, you're still going to do that along with, I'm sure you're taking precautions in the store as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. But we have gotten a large influx of local online orders. So yeah, that I was, we've been doing free shipping too, just to, just take that cost out so people don't even have to worry about that. So they can even have it shipped locally if that's what they prefer. So, but yeah, we've been sanitizing a lot. We have a limit of 2 people in at a time. And people are being very respectful of that. So we have people wait outside, and we have actually a little table of products outside that people can shop while they wait. So I think everyone, is adapting.
Having to accommodate, but it seems like you're doing just a fine job at that, right?
Yeah.
All right. So before we head out, though, we can always follow you on Instagram. Tell us how we keep up with you.
So on Instagram, you can find us at Hermosa Jewelry. Online, we're hermosadjewelry.com, and on Facebook, we're facebook.com/Hermosa_by_Hayden.
All right, and the website?
hermosadjewelry.com.
All righty. Well, Haley, it was so good to see you. Tell your parents I said hello, and your sister. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much.
No problem. All right, more Living Local is coming your way, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.